Hey y'all, well this is part 2. And this is what cutting my hair looks like styled. Well, what do y'all think? I just did some round brush curls with my curling iron and ran my fingers through it and sprayed it and just kind of did this. And there we have it. I'll have to wait till my husband gets home to see if it's even in the back. I looked and it looked kind of even. But because my hair as I've gotten older is getting a little more raggedy and ringlety and I don't know. It doesn't really have a length anymore, you know? I don't know. Well, this is it. This is what I ended up doing. So let's get back to the makeup, shall we? I am going to be using this Instant Look in the Palette 5-Minute Face on the Go. And this is the Seductive Beauty. There's 2 of them. There is Beauty Glow and Seductive Beauty. Let me show you the difference in these. Because it looks like a subtle difference, but it's really quite a difference. For one thing, this one, the Beauty Glow, has a matte brown in it. That's real important if you're using that same shadow up here for your eyebrows. Like I do an eyebrow. This one, which is the Seductive Beauty, every color in here is a shimmer. And here is the 2 of them together. It's just the weirdest how much they're alike and yet they're not. They almost look like the same palette and then not really, you know? If you look closely at the blushes, you look closely at the dark browns, even the highlighters, they're very different. So I guess this Seductive Beauty is meant more for nighttime because it has more shimmer. So I don't remember which one I used for my cheeks. I think I used Seductive Beauty. So now we're going back to this Beauty Glow, which is, I guess, more of a daytime look, shall we say? Let's do. Alright, I'm using a E55 short shader. Let me just put that up against that, and that way you can see it better. Short shader. I'm sorry, this isn't a short shader, it's just a plain shader. Eye shader E55 from Sigma, and we are going in this highlighter color. You could even use that highlighter, which we will in a minute. Let me move over my new bangs. I didn't actually touch them up. And I go from all the way to the inner brow all the way to the out and give it just one good. And I also go in both directions so that even the little hairs, even if you just waxed, the pores, that the makeup gets down in the pores good. And then I do go just a little bit past so that back here is a little brighter. That's very shimmery. Okay. Everything's shimmery. And I'm going over the eyelid with this color in little short strokes. And the reason is because I really want to pack it on. I'm only going about a little past halfway and all the way in. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to be using a dark color on the outer corner. So there's just no point in wasting the makeup, is there? And then I'm going to go into the tear duct and up and smooth it back out. Just to give it a nice canvas. Alright, I'm going to do that again. Just a nice, good, hard push. I'm pushing that into the skin. You see people just do this, and I feel like it wastes a lot of makeup when you, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's good to get it in the skin. You can blend it after that, and then go backwards to get it into the pores real good. And then we're going back over the little past halfway, come up and into the tear duct area, and then on up and over, just to kind of blend that out. And what I'm doing when I just go over like that is it's giving it a layer of powder so that when the next color of powder comes over, it'll go over better. And I'm also going to take the corner side of this and go into the faced highlighter and do the inner corner, because that's going to be a little bit brighter. See how much brighter that is than that? And inner corner. And see how I'm keeping it straight up and down versus wide. I'm kind of using it the skinny way. Just for that. Okay. Now, oh, I got too much in there. There's so much in there that nothing can move. No, that's too much. That's too much. Stop it. I bet it's it's when I put my lipstick in there. Alright, let's see. I will use a fluffy brush. This is an E50 Large Fluffy from Sigma. So you can see that. And I'm going into this middle color. And this is going to be transition. Tapping off just a little extra input down right there, good and hard, and that's where most of the color will come off. And then work in all the way to the brow and back. And you're just getting this whole little background area ready to blend a darker color in. And so when you do that, it just, you know, it just gives the darker color something to come up to besides that bright white highlight or cream highlight, champagne highlight, whatever your highlight is. You need something in between. And that's what this is. That's what it's called, transition. Oh, that's why I call it transition. All right, and now I'm going to take an E45, and this is a tapered blending brush. And so I roll it because of its point and the way that the brushes are lined up into a taper. I roll it to make sure, tap off excess because it is a very dark color. Put down all the way out here and then come in. Do you see how much it dropped more of the color out there? Okay. And just windshield wiper motions. If you want to keep it tight, look up so that the eyelid skin itself will grab that brush and kind of hold it in place. Otherwise, you can kind of close your eye a little and it'll blend it a little more. I do not go fast on this. I purposely go slow. I want to drop the product. Going back and forth, I can blend it just as I want to, and then I roll it. If you can see my fingers, how I'm rolling like that out here and I'm kind of wiping off the excess because I want the dark out there, okay? And I'll clean that up. So see how you've got more of the dark color in the crease. Rolling again, tapping off. You don't want to over tap off, but you want to tap off just enough that when you put this down, it won't fall down here. And it might anyway. Again, if you want to get it a little darker in the crease, look up, and that kind of grabs the brushes and kind of keeps them in there. If you kind of squint like that or just close your eye a little, it spreads that brush out. See, I'm doing like this, and I'm just getting that excess off and putting it in this kind of a V shape is what I'm doing, V like that. And again, because of my little scar right there, I kind of sometimes have to concentrate some color right there because it doesn't grab hold very good, as one of you told me it might be because there are no pores. Okay, I'm going to use a pencil brush, which I don't always do. Sometimes I just use my short shader. So this is a pencil brush. It literally looks like a pencil, and it's tapered. So what do we do when it's tapered? We roll it, and in the darkest color. And again, I'm going to put this, just because it's a little wider than a shader, I'm going to go a little darker today. Right underneath. Keep it close to the lash line though. Again, roll it. You especially want to give this a good couple of whacks to get any shakes, whatever, to get any excess off so that it doesn't drop down here. Now some people do like what I'm doing right now, and they have not put on their concealer yet so that they can dust off that area. Again, see how I'm kind of doing a powder wing, just kind of getting that off. And so it gives me my darkened effect under my eye, which is what I want today. A little darker than usual. Or you could have used a short shader, which is much more dense and tightly packed, so it's really hard as a rock. And that is what I use to do my brow. Now I can use a pencil as well. I tap my own spit because I do not share my palettes. And there is no more, I would think, no more bacteria in my tongue than there is in this makeup pan. So I know that may gross some of you out. I'm so sorry. Alright, then I come back up and kind of fill in. Always go underneath first, and then kind of build your height and go down. And then just a little bit underneath here. That's a pretty good brow. I never feel like I get my brows just right, especially off camera. I look and go, oh my gosh, they look so different from each other. There. Like I said, reinforce underneath. This has got a little bit of a red to the brown, and I am very clearly ashy in my blonde brown, so that's not good. So this really isn't a good color to do my brow with, but I've started it now. So yeah, it's very reddish there. I'm trying to get that to get to a point. And then we're going to come under here and build this up a little bit. There we go. Now this actually is lower. So we're going to build that edge up. There. And I do try to make sure I fill in whatever this color is in my brow hairs. Don't overdo the ends. There. I think that's about right. What do y'all think? You know, I wish it really could be two-way. I ought to be doing Twitter while I do this so y'all can talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we should do. Oh, you know what? I forgot to use this. This is the Color Chameleon Black Diamonds for blue eyes. Oh, I know why. This is what I don't like about Charlotte Tilbury's eye products. They have to be sharpened. Now, I do have a sharpener. It's in the other room, but that loses because then you have the shavings to deal with. That's a big no-no. You get big points off if you are a product that has to be shaved. Like I almost won't use you because it's too much of a pain. It's just too much of a pain. Let me see if the brow lift is the same. Oh, I could have used your brow lift. Now see, this is a scroll up. This is what I'm talking about. That's what you want. A scroll up product. Let's see if I can get this a little less red and a little more brown. There. And on the other end is a nice spoolie brush to comb through the, I'll overdo it. There. That is the weirdest. Do y'all see that line? It's too weird. Again, I'm going to add this color in. It's a little more brown. A little